Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract money like a magnet, while others barely manage to get by? Perhaps you've heard of Robert Kiyosaki, author of the bestseller Rich Dad, Poor Dad, who reveals the secrets the rich know that the poor can't even imagine. Today, I'm going to share with you 8 powerful lessons that the rich master and that can completely transform your relationship with money. If you master even half of these tips, you'll be light years ahead of most people and will see your financial life change dramatically. Ready to discover what the rich do that the poor don't? Then stick around until the end, because what you're about to learn could be the turning point in your journey to wealth. Lesson 1. The rich invest in assets, the poor in liabilities. One of the biggest differences between the rich and the poor lies in how they view and use money. The rich understand the importance of investing in assets, while the poor, often unknowingly, end up spending on liabilities. But what are assets and liabilities? Robert Kiyosaki simplifies it. Assets are things that put money in your pocket, while liabilities are things that take money out of your pocket. Imagine a waiter named John, who works hard every day. When he gets his paycheck, the first thing he does is buy a new TV on credit. In John's eyes, he's investing in his comfort. But the reality is that this TV will lose value over time and, worse, will cost him money and interest. That's a liability. Now imagine a bakery attendant named Sarah, who instead of buying a new TV, decides to invest part of her salary in stocks or a small business. This investment, over time, can generate a return and eventually put more money in her pocket. That's an asset. The rich have a mindset oriented towards acquiring assets. They know that the more assets they have, the more money they will earn, regardless of whether they are working or not. They invest in real estate, stocks, businesses, and even in education to enhance their skills. On the other hand, the poor end up buying things that, in the long run, only drain their resources, like expensive cars, the latest gadgets, or even designer clothes, without thinking about the financial consequences. The big lesson here is to change the way you see money. Before buying anything, ask yourself, is this an asset or a liability? Will this put money in my pocket in the future, or will it cost me more? If you start thinking like the rich, prioritizing assets, you will see a significant change in your financial situation over time. Lesson 2. The rich understand the power of compound interest, the poor don't. The concept of compound interest may seem complex, but it is one of the most powerful tools for building wealth. Albert Einstein even called compound interest the most powerful force in the universe. And guess what? The rich master this force, while the poor often don't even know it exists. Let's imagine a driver named Mike, who is 30 years old. Mike decided that he would save $100 a month and invest that money in an investment fund that earns 8% per year. It doesn't seem like much, right? But with the power of compound interest, over 30 years, this small investment of $100 a month will turn into more than $150,000. All because the invested money not only grows, but also the return on it grows exponentially over time. On the other hand, many people like Mike prefer to spend that money on short-term things, like a night out for dinner or a new piece of clothing. And when they think about saving, they believe the amount is too small to make any difference. But it is exactly this mindset that prevents them from taking advantage of the power of compound interest. The rich know that the earlier they start investing, the greater the effect of compound interest. They understand that time is a powerful ally in building wealth. They don't wait until they have large sums of money to invest. They start with what they have, knowing that every dollar invested today can multiply in the future. The lesson here is simple. Start investing as soon as possible, even if it's a small amount. Over time, you will see the magic effect of compound interest in action. This is one of the secrets that the rich master and that anyone can apply, regardless of their current financial situation. Lesson 3. The rich learn about money. The poor don't. The rich have an insatiable thirst for knowledge, especially when it comes to money and investments. They know that to maintain and multiply their wealth, they need to be constantly learning. And this learning doesn't just come from schools or universities, but from experiences, books, mentorships, and most importantly, from trial and error. Take the example of a baker named Joe. He works from dawn to dusk but never learned about personal finance or investments. He believes that money is something you earn by working hard, and that's it. Joe rarely reads books on the subject, doesn't follow financial news, and thinks investing is something only for the rich. On the other hand, we have Maria, a hairdresser who, despite having a modest income, constantly reads about investments, attends financial workshops, and talks to people who understand the subject. She understands that knowledge is one of the greatest weapons in the pursuit of financial independence. What sets Maria apart from Joe is mindset. While Joe is content with what he knows, Maria is always in search of more knowledge. She knows that the financial market is dynamic and that to benefit from it, she needs to stay updated and well-informed. The rich do exactly that. They invest time and money in financial education, knowing that this investment will bring immeasurable returns in the future. The lesson is clear. If you want to change your financial situation, you need to start learning about money. It's not enough to just work hard. You need to work smart. And for that, knowledge is essential. Read books on finance, follow blogs and podcasts on the subject, attend seminars. The more you know, the better prepared you will be to make financial decisions that will improve your life. Lesson 4. The rich make money work for them. The poor work for money. This is perhaps the most important lesson Robert Kiyosaki teaches in his books. While the poor are trapped in the idea that they need to work more to earn more money, the rich look for ways to make money work for them. But how does this work in practice? Imagine a rideshare driver named David who works 12 hours a day to support his family. He believes that the more hours he works, the more money he will earn. And that's true to a certain extent. But David is trading time for money, and time is a limited resource. He can increase his working hours, and eventually he will get tired, sick, or won't have the strength to continue at that pace. Now think of a blogger named Steve, who invested part of his time and money in creating a niche blog. Over time, this blog started generating revenue through ads and partnerships, without Steve having to be constantly present. He still works, but now the money also works for him, generating passive income. Steve could be sleeping, traveling, or resting, and yet, his blog continues to generate money. The rich understand that the key to true wealth is passive income, the kind that continues to come in even when you're not working. They invest in businesses, properties, stocks, and other sources of income that work for them, allowing them to earn money while they sleep. This doesn't mean that the rich don't work, but rather that they make money work for them in a smart way. If you want to change your financial situation, you need to find ways to make money work for you. It could be an investment, a side business, or anything else that generates passive income. The important thing is to stop thinking only about trading time for money and start thinking about how to multiply the money you already have. Now, I ask you, do you think it's hard to make a YouTube video like this one? And what if I told you that in 1 month you could earn between $5,000 and $10,000 per month as extra income by creating simple YouTube videos like this one? I have a complete and straightforward course that I developed for a single payment of $29.90. $29.90 won't make you poorer or richer, but what if this program works for you? Well, the link is in the first pinned comment of the video and in the About section of the channel, okay? If you're interested, just click the link to know more. But now, back to the content. Lesson 5. The rich are proactive, the poor are reactive. A crucial difference between the rich and the poor is how they approach life. The rich are proactive, meaning they take the initiative and seek opportunities before they come. They don't wait for things to happen, they make them happen. On the other hand, the poor often react to problems as they arise, living in a constant state of putting out fires. Let's imagine a supermarket attendant named Tom. Tom lives waiting for payday, and if an emergency arises like a car repair, he panics because he doesn't have any financial reserves. He reacts to every problem as if it were a surprise, even though many of these problems are predictable. On the other hand, we have a hairdresser named Jane, who always sets aside part of her salary for an emergency fund and is constantly looking for new ways to increase her income, whether through courses or small entrepreneurial initiatives. Jane is proactive. She anticipates problems and prepares for them. She not only waits for opportunities to arise but creates them. And this mindset is something that the rich have in abundance. They don't wait for things to happen by chance. They make a plan, set goals, and act. They know that luck favors the prepared, and that's why they are constantly preparing. If you want to achieve financial independence, you need to adopt a proactive mindset. Instead of waiting for things to improve on their own, Start taking steps to improve your situation today. Whether it's better financial planning, learning a new skill, or seeking new opportunities, the important thing is to act before problems arise. Being proactive is one of the secrets of the rich that anyone can adopt. Lesson 6. The rich aren't afraid to take calculated risks. The poor avoid risk. The rich understand that to grow financially, you need to take risks. But these aren't blind risks, they are calculated. On the other hand, the poor tend to avoid any type of risk, preferring safety, even if it means stagnation. Consider a bricklayer named Jack. He works hard every day and saves what he can. Jack is afraid to invest because he believes it's too risky. He prefers to keep his money in a savings account where he knows it's safe but where it barely earns any interest. He sees investing as a gamble, something best avoided. On the other hand, we have a bus driver named Harry who understands that to achieve financial freedom, he needs to make his money grow. Harry studies the stock market, learns about real estate funds, and decides to invest a portion of his savings. He knows there are risks involved, but he also knows that these risks are calculated. He's done his homework, understands the possible consequences, and is willing to take those risks in search of greater rewards. The lesson here is that the rich aren't afraid of risk. They are afraid of inaction. They know that the greatest risk is doing nothing and letting money lose value over time due to inflation. Taking calculated risks is what allows them to grow financially, while the poor remain where they are, comfortable in their safety zone, but with no prospects for growth. If you want to grow financially, you need to be willing to take risks. This doesn't mean being reckless, but rather being willing to step out of your comfort zone and seek new opportunities. Study, plan, and when you feel prepared, take the next step. Financial success doesn't come without some degree of risk, but the greatest returns usually come to those who are willing to face the challenge. Lesson 7. The rich understand the value of time, the poor don't. Time is money, and the rich understand this better than anyone. They know that time is a finite resource and therefore they need to use it wisely. The poor, on the other hand, often don't give time the value it deserves and end up wasting it on activities that bring no return. Imagine a bricklayer named Jim. He works during the day, and at night, he spends hours watching TV or browsing social media. He believes this is his time to relax and doesn't realize he's wasting a precious resource. He doesn't invest this time in something productive that could improve his financial life, like learning a new skill or starting a small business. Now think of a baker named Tom, who works the same hours as Jim, but uses his free time to study investments and personal development. He knows that time is a valuable asset, and the sooner he invests in himself, the greater the rewards in the future. Tom uses his time to build something that will bring him long-term benefits, while Jim wastes his on activities that don't add value. The rich understand that time is more valuable than money because money can be recovered, but time, once lost, never comes back. They are extremely conscious of how they use their time and always seek to maximize the return on it. If they're working, they aim to be as productive as possible. If they're learning, they seek knowledge that can truly make a difference in their lives. The lesson here is clear. Value your time. Instead of spending hours on activities that bring no return, use that time to invest in yourself and your projects. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll see results. Remember, time is the most valuable asset you have. Use it wisely. Lesson 8. The rich surround themselves with successful people. The poor surround themselves with negative people. The rich understand that the people you surround yourself with have a huge impact on your life, including your financial situation. They surround themselves with other successful people who inspire and challenge them to be better. On the other hand, the poor often surround themselves with like-minded people who complain, criticize, and don't believe they can improve. Let's imagine a fast food worker named Matt. He spends a lot of time with friends who have a negative mindset. They're always complaining about work, the government, life in general, but they never do anything to change it. This mindset becomes contagious, and Matt ends up believing there's not much he can do to improve his situation either. He resigns himself to his life, believing that success is for others, not for him. Now think of a teacher named Emily who, despite her modest income, makes sure to surround herself with people who inspire her. She joins networking groups, makes friends with people who are seeking personal and financial growth, and always seeks to learn from them. These people motivate her to seek more, to step out of her comfort zone, and to believe that she can achieve success. The rich understand that the environment is stronger than willpower. They surround themselves with people who push them up, who have similar goals, and who support them on their journey to success. They know that if you surround yourself with negative people, you'll end up being dragged down. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with positive and successful people, it elevates your expectations and encourages you to act differently. The lesson here is, look at the people you spend the most time with. Are they helping you grow, or are they holding you back? If you want to achieve financial independence, it's essential to surround yourself with people who share this same mindset. Seek out groups, friends, mentors who can inspire and challenge you to be better. This can make all the difference in your journey to success. Now that you know these 8 lessons, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Remember, the difference between those who achieve financial success and those who don't lies in action. Did you like the video? What else do you think could be added to make it even better? Leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and if you want more tips on how to succeed with women or be a high-value man, watch the video that's appearing on your screen now. See you next time. I'll see you there.